Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Immigrants Bridge Show. I'm Attorney B, and I am the founding attorney and CEO of the Bennett Law Center. So, as you know, we love sharing our clients' stories, and today we have a treat for you. Ms.Winsome is one of my favorite clients who just had an amazing situation happen to her, and we're going to talk about that today. So, today, I'd like to welcome our guest, Ms. Winsome.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming out today.
Thank you.
Great. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
I'm from Hanover in Jamaica.
The most beautiful island in the Caribbean, right?
Very much so.
Yeah, and we're definitely not biased, right? Okay, so you're from Jamaica. So when was it that you came to the United States?
I went back and forth from 1970, but settled here in 1983.
Wow. Wow. So that was definitely a different time.
Definitely.
Wow. Okay, so you traveled back and forth on a tourist visa, and then when you say you settled in 1983, what did that mean? What was your immigration process like?
Well, it was my mom had lived here for years, and she um, got my green card for me. She sponsored me. But at that time, Jamaica was the land of milk and honey, so I had no intention of leaving.
Mm-hmm.
But as life progressed, things changed. You had children. You think about them first.
Mm-hmm.
So thought about it, and the sacrifice was to come here to make sure that their future was more secure.
Wonderful. So that started for you. And so you were a green card holder since 1983.
Actually, before that.
Oh, before that?
70.
Since 1970.
No, sorry, 80. Sorry.
Oh,
80.
since 1980.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Wow. That's amazing. That is amazing. So when you came from Jamaica, where did you go? Where did you all live?
We lived in South Georgia.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You're the first Jamaican that I met that said they didn't land in New York or Florida.
No, we went to Georgia. In terms of landing, I think we came through Toronto. So it is officially known as New York
Yes.
for landing.
Yes.
And then we came straight to Albany, Georgia.
Albany, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And what's your profession?
Accounting.
Okay.
I was a bookkeeper I loved that for a long time.
For a long time. Wow. And you're happily retired now?
Yes, ma'am. And
Well-
enjoying all the fruits of volunteering.
I can totally get that. Well, when was it that or let me ask this. Was there a time you've been here since 1980? Did you ever desire to become a United States citizen?
Not really, because it was just another home from home, and I kept going back and forth, and I was comfortable with my situation, being able to do that freely.
Yeah. So, what was it that made you started to seriously consider becoming a U.S. citizen?
I saw signs of insecurity in my being here in the previous administration, and I began to think about it as if I didn't want any question as to, oh, you need to go back home. Not that I don't like home, but since I had settled here so long, that insecurity was creeping up. And I said, when you come in, the hassle of going through immigration, the questions, and I said, no, I was not going to deal with that. I think it's time. Because my daughter I made sure she got her citizenship from before. And my son was born here, so I said, I want to be able to travel freely without that nagging sense of
Of not being certain.
So yeah,
It's the uncertainty.
Am I going to be sent home tomorrow because I'm not a citizen?
Yeah. And, that's a real fear. And it's a valid one because there are green card holders who do get deported. So a lot of times, we think about, I've graduated from having a visa, where you only have a short amount of time to stay in the country. And now you have a green card, you can live and work in the United States. But that's really not the ultimate thing, because there are a lot of green card holders who end up in removal proceedings for a variety of reasons. So, Ms. Winsome, your fear or concern about really being able to remain in this country is absolutely valid. And that's a great point to bring up.
Yeah.
Now, did you have any thoughts about giving up your nationality? My dad, I remember vividly this conversation. I'm like, Daddy, obviously I'm an immigration attorney. Let me help you become a citizen. And he's like, Bridget, I don't want to not be a Jamaican anymore. And, I laugh at it and I tease him. But did you have any of those trepidations of giving up your nationality in order to become a U.S. citizen?
I never thought about that because I will always be a Jamaican. Because when I first came here, that was one of the things that differentiated me from being a natural born American. They would say to me, if I'm filling out a form and they ask race, I would like, what? And then I touch black, I check black, and they would say, oh, no, you're not black, you're Jamaican. I'm saying, oh, really? So I said, okay, so I'm a Jamaican. I will always be a Jamaican. There is no fear where that is concerned.
That's great to know. And I would like to bring that up because a lot of people think that if you become an American citizen, that means that you're giving up who you are, where you're born, and things of that nature. So you definitely swear allegiance to the United States in order to become an American citizen, but you have dual nationality. So I do still have a Jamaican passport and my American passport. And I am a proud Jamaican and I am a proud American. So it's like the best of both worlds. So if you're considering citizenship and that's one of your concerns, it's not really that you're giving up your homeland. It's being able to enjoy the best of both worlds. As far as I know that I've encountered in terms of dual citizenship is Germany. You would have to give up your German citizenship to become an American, and China. But those are the only two that pop off the top of my head. Maybe there are other countries, but for the vast majority of countries, they do allow dual citizenship.
That's good. I do have 2 passports too.
Yeah, I just got mine back last spring, and it's interesting because when you travel back to Jamaica, even though you're a natural born Jamaican and you use your American passport, they give you the little stamp and they're like, yeah, you have 10 days or 30 days. So now when I go back to Jamaica, I have my Jamaican passport and they just let me in, and it's great. It's kind of cool.
Very.
The other advantage is for Jamaicans going to certain countries, no visa are required, versus if you're an American and you go, visas are required. One country in that situation is Brazil. So if I were to travel to Brazil, I would probably use my Jamaican passport because a visa is not required. If I use my American passport, I would have to apply for a visa in order to travel there. So there are considerations to take into account when you're thinking about being a citizen. So right now we're going to take a little commercial break and we'll be right back to continue talking to Ms. Winsome.
The Orlando Health Choose One Heart Health Program, proudly funded by the LiveWell Foundation of South Lake, is ready for Session 2. There are 2 qualifications to participate in the program. You need to be an adult, 18 years or older, and live in South Lake County. Once your registration has been confirmed, you will visit one of 4 locations to have your biometric screening, including your height, weight, blood pressure, waist circumference, and lab values. During weekly virtual classes offered over a 6-week period, participants gain vital information and healthy lifestyle behaviors. Join the waiting list at orlandohealth.com/choose1 for this free 6-week heart health program, proudly funded by the Live Well Foundation of South Lake.
Founded in 2011, JSJ Unlimited has provided the finest outdoor living products and services to homeowners and contractors from their home base in Groveland, Florida, the city with natural charm. Rated the #1 sod supplier in Central Florida, the goal at JSJ Unlimited is to provide high-quality products that include sod, decorative rock, soils, mulch, and aggregates. Homeowners and contractors are welcome to give us a call to set up deliveries or stop in and view our products in person Monday through Friday. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will be happy to assist you.
If the freshest, sweetest fruits and veggies are your aim, there's only one family I can name. Gardener's Fresh Produce, a family farm, nestled in the city with natural charm. Since 2006, farmers markets are where you can buy the highest quality produce they can provide. Peas, tomatoes, strawberries, just some things you'll find. With ginger, potatoes, and fresh greens of all kind. Fridays at Lake David Park in Groveland from 9 to 1. So come on out for some farm fresh fun.
Spice House Catering, proudly serving Central Florida since 2014. Born in Montego Bay, Jamaica, Chef Damien grew up in a culture where foods are grown naturally and harvested locally. A true organic lifestyle. With his extensive background working in some of the finest luxury hotels and cruise ships for over 25 years, Chef Damien brings that same level of attention to detail, culinary creativity, and high-class service to every client he caters to. Spice House Catering, delicious meals, amazing experiences.
Are you or someone you know facing a citizenship, visa, or deportation issue? Do you need legal services as a business owner? Do you have your will or trust in place? Were you injured in a car accident? If so, you need an experienced attorney. Since 2011, the Bennett Law Center's mission has been to help families and business owners achieve their version of the American dream. Headquartered in Groveland, Florida, the city with natural charm, the Bennett Law Center and the BLC crew are here to fight for you. Where there are barriers, we build bridges. The Bennett Law Center, experienced attorneys.
So a lot of people are interested in becoming United States citizens. And of course, that is one of the services that we offer here at the Bennett Law Center. So if you're confused about the process, we're going to talk a little bit about the requirements and about the test. So a lot of people have questions about what is this test all about? Can I pass the test? How do I study? So we're going to ask Ms. Winsome some of those questions. And I'm going to actually test her. You probably didn't know that I was going to quiz you, but I am. So we're going to ask questions. So in general, to become a United States citizen, you have to have had your green card for at least 5 years. However, if you got your green card through marriage to a United States citizen, it is 3 years. You must be able to read, write, and understand English. And you must be able to demonstrate that you are a person of good moral character. So if you have arrests, if you have questionable actions, if you owe the IRS, if you didn't sign up for the selective service, if you're past due on child support, all of those things are considered in the good moral character analysis. And that can come up in the citizenship context. And that is why, if you have anything like that going on, it is a good idea to consult with a licensed attorney to see if you even qualify. So without further ado, we're going to talk a little bit. Well, I'm going to test Ms. Winsome. Now, what year was it that you became a citizen?
2018.
2018. So that was 5 years ago. So let's see if you still remember. Otherwise, I might have to take away your citizenship. If you don't pass the test. Nah, I won't do that. Okay. What is the supreme law of the land?
Constitution.
Mm-hmm. What is one right or freedom from the First Amendment?
Freedom of speech.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely American. Okay. What are two parts of the United States Congress?
House of Representatives and the Senate.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of the Senate, how many senators are there?
100.
Great. Yes, you're right. So far, so good. You're on track for keeping your American citizenship. What is one responsibility that is only for U.S. citizens?
To vote in the federal elections.
Yeah. And the other one is to serve on a jury. Let's see. There were 13 original states or colonies. Name 3 of them.
Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, New York.
Yes, you're correct. Name one war fought by the United States in the 1800s.
Civil War.
Yes, that's correct. And more recent history, what did Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. do?
He fought for civil rights
Yes.
for all citizens.
Yes, he sure did. And name one state that borders Canada.
New York.
New York, New York. Yes. And why does the flag have 13 stripes?
For the original 13 colonies.
Mm-hmm. And why does the flag have 50 stars?
For representing the 50 states.
Yes. You did great. You passed the test. So the test is actually comprised of 100 questions. So you have to study 100 questions, and there are randomly 10 questions that are selected. So you won't know which 10 questions you're going to get. So you have to study all 100, and you're required to get 6 out of 10 correct on the actual oral portion of the test. Once the test is over, you will be given a sentence to read in English, and you read the sentence, and it's normally a question. It might say something like, what is the capital of the United States? And the answer is, the capital of the United States is Washington, D.C. And you would have to write the answer. So they're testing your oral, written, and reading ability for the test. So you did great, and obviously you passed the test.
I did.
And you are a United States citizen. Congratulations.
Thank you, ma'am.
It's definitely,
Again,
yeah.
you did a good job with me before, and you're doing it again.
Oh, yeah. So I didn't ask you about that. Why did you decide to choose our law firm? There are plenty of law firms out there. Why the Bennett Law Center?
Because I know that Bridgette is good at what she does. So I had no second thoughts about it.
Well, thank you. Well, the firm, they make me look good. My team is an amazing group of people. So thank you for that confidence.
That's true.
Yeah.
I will tell anybody who has. At least I did promote you, even out of state.
Oh, out of state. Well, thank you. And immigration, that's a good point. Immigration is federal. So we do practice all over the U.S. and all over the world. We have clients from all over the world. Now, you've witnessed what the test looks like, but you may be wondering, are there exceptions to that rule? Like, does everybody have to take the test? What if you're disabled? What if you can't take the test? We get questions like that all the time. And so, yes, there are some exceptions. So, for example, if you have your green card for at least 15 years and you are 50 years old or older, you are exempt from the language requirement, meaning that you get to take that test, but you get to take it in your native language. So that's the 1555 rule. It's 15 years of being a resident and being 55 or older. Now, if you are 50 years old and you've had your green card for at least 20 years, the 2050 rule, you also are exempt from the language requirement, meaning that you still have to take the test, but it will be in your native language. Now, if you are 65 years of age, and I believe you've had your green card for 20 years, you get a modified version of the test. So that test, instead of studying all 100 questions, you will be able to take the test of just 10 questions. So there are 10 specific questions that you can study for instead of the whole 100. And it's also in your language. So they give some grace to people who are a little bit older in age and things of that nature. So that's a great benefit. Now, what if a person is disabled or have some kind of incapacity and cannot take the written or oral test? What do we do then? So there is a medical exception. We do have to make an application for it. I believe it's Form N648. It's a medical certification by your doctor who is familiar with your condition. So it has to be a physical or mental capacity issue as to why you are not able to take the test. It can't be like, I have a bad memory, or I don't think I can pass, or I'm just not educated enough to take the test. Those are not valid reasons. So if you are impaired, if you had a stroke, if you had a brain tumor, if you had an aneurysm, we've represented people who have been deaf and mute. They can't talk. They can't, they're completely dependent on a parent or a caregiver. And we have been able to successfully obtain the medical certification, which exempts them from the language requirement. So yeah, there are some exceptions for taking the civics portion of the test. Now, if you have more questions about becoming a United States citizen or what the requirements are, we're more than happy to schedule a case evaluation for you here at the Bennett Law Center. Now, for now, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Look around, and you'll see people working together, playing a vital role. Orlando Health shares this approach. We've brought together brilliant, nationally recognized medical professionals with advanced training, technology, and game-changing treatments dedicated to providing you with outstanding, genuine care close to home. Orlando Health. Choose well.
Crawford, Modica, and Holt, Chartered Attorneys at Law, here to help you overcome your legal obstacles. Our lawyers carry exceptional experience and work as a team with our fantastic support staff to provide practical solutions to your legal matters. Whether it be family law, criminal defense, land use and zoning, or complex litigation, probate litigation, business, and regulatory matters, the attorneys at Crawford, Modica, and Holt are here to serve you. Call us for all your legal needs at 352-432-8644.
A beautiful smile, a confident smile, with modern orthodontics. An experienced practice committed to professional, personalized care. We take the time to get you checked in comfortably, understand your orthodontic needs, and provide fine-tuned solutions. Discover innovative equipment like our digital scanning technology, which allows us to craft solutions with high precision and keep you greatly involved. Visit us online to learn more or to schedule an appointment today.
Welcome to Guru Restaurant in Claremont. Chef owner Uday Kadam has been proudly serving the finest authentic Indian cuisine in Central Florida since 1990. Come see us or order online at mygurutogo.com or call 352-241-9884. Open 7 days a week with outdoor seating available. Order delivery through Uber Eats or DoorDash. Free complimentary bottled beverage is available to qualifying online orders. Guru Restaurant in Claremont. Simply the best in Indian cuisine.
Are you or someone you know facing a citizenship, visa, or deportation issue? Do you need legal services as a business owner? Do you have your will or trust in place? Were you injured in a car accident? If so, you need an experienced attorney. Since 2011, the Bennett Law Center's mission has been to help families and business owners achieve their version of the American dream. Headquartered in Groveland, Florida, the city with natural charm, the Bennett Law Center and the BLC crew are here to fight for you. Where there are barriers, we build bridges. The Bennett Law Center, experienced attorneys.
Welcome back to the Immigrants Bridge Show. So now that you've heard Ms. Winsome's story, you've seen what the test is like and what are some of the exemptions, I want to ask you, Ms. Winsome, what it's like on the other side. Now, since 2018, you're a United States citizen. Can you walk us through when you heard you passed the test and you've been approved for citizenship? What was that like?
It was a very proud feeling, having lived here for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt, well, a more sense of belonging here and being able to participate in the political scene because I've had plenty of say without action. So now I was able to participate in that, and I was very proud to do that.
So when you became a citizen, it's a little bit different now, but back then you would know that you passed the test and you were approved for citizenship, and then they would actually schedule an oath ceremony. So can you tell us what that day was like? Did you bring anyone in there with you? Tell us what that day was like.
It was the butterflies. I felt a lot of butterflies, and I was wondering, oh, this is the day, this is the day. And I had my husband with me, and he had gotten his recently. So he was able to calm me down. He says, it will be fine. I said, what if I make a mistake? He says, no, you're not allowed to make any mistakes. I went in and I realized that everyone around me was more or less in that jovial, happy to be there situation. And I said, okay. So I got my flag and I was very happy. It was a very happy day.
Yeah.
A very happy day.
I remember, and I think you sent us the picture of you with your little flag.
Yes.
That's a proud moment.
It was really a very proud moment. I didn't know I would have felt so proud, but it's really very proud.
Yeah.
A day I will always remember.
It is an amazing day. And, you know, from the attorney perspective, I don't often go to the oath ceremonies, but every once in a while I'll go with a client. And it's a surreal feeling. You're in a room with people who've lived here, who've worked here, who consider America their home. And I feel like there's a lot of validation. And as Ms. Winsome says, you have this sense of, wow, I am finally a part of. You know, I remember one client, he told me that even though he'd gone through the whole process, and once he finally became a citizen, he was like, it wasn't until that moment that I actually felt like I was really a part of this country. And it was very touching, very, very emotional. So the oath ceremony is a big deal. That's when you get to swear in and join in with other people who are having the same experience. So that's wonderful. Congratulations again.
Thank you. Thank you. It was really, really a good feeling.
Yeah.
I'll always remember it.
Yeah. So what about you? You mentioned a few minutes ago that you were now able to participate in political life. So what was that like when you registered to vote? What was it like when you actually cast your very first ballot?
Oh, I'm part of this system and I can decide what happens too, because every vote counts. It really is nice to go in, check off who you're voting for, and come out and put on the sticker that says, I voted. I had not voted in such a long time. So I really, really, this is a solidification of being a citizen.
It's a very special moment. Very special.
Really special.
Yeah. That's what awaits you on the other side. You're able to participate fully as a person that cares about what happens to your country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm very civic minded, so I listen and try to learn what this whole process is about and how it affects me and others. You know, so here it is now. My involvement has resulted in my being able to say, well, I decide this and I decide this. I can be a part of the decision making.
Yeah. You're
not
part
just
of the
outside.
Yeah. It's a great feeling. And it's not just a feeling, it's an action.
It's an action.
It's
right.
an action. It's awesome. Now, in the beginning, in our first segment, you talked about what motivated you was just kind of not being sure and just kind of having some hassles when you travel, with a green card. You have to go through secondary inspection sometimes, and you have to go through this other line.
Yeah.
What's it like now traveling with your blue book, traveling with your American passport?
Oh, it's so nice. First of all, they say, welcome back home.
Ah.
I said, I'm home again.
Welcome home.
Welcome home. That's a good feeling,
Yeah.
When you're away and you come back and the first thing you're greeting is welcome home. So I've stepped up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm home. It's not only in Jamaica that I'm home here too.
Mm-hmm. That's really powerful. I didn't expect for you to say that, but you're right. When you come back in, it's like welcome home, and this is home.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, I think that's actually a wonderful way to end. We've talked to so many people on this show about their immigration journeys and what it feels like, and many of whom you've seen before talked about getting a work permit or getting a green card. But here is Ms. Winsome, who really achieved the ultimate American dream to be a part of this amazing country that we have. And there are no better words to hear when you go away on a trip and you come back other than welcome home. So thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Immigrants Bridge Show. We love for you to follow us and watch these stories so that you can understand and get a deeper sense of the immigrant story and the lives of the people who live here, many of which don't necessarily have American citizenship at this time, or they're still in process. But I love the fact that Ms. Winsome was able to come today to share her story and give hope. She was a resident since 1980, and it took, is that 28 years? 28 years before she heard the words welcome home. So thank you again for tuning in, and stay tuned for our next episode.